We are 2 hours away from the first practice of the Eagles training camp as they try to repeat as Super Bowl champions. Let that sink in for a second. 2 hours away. Football is back, baby. On a Phillies note, is Christopher Sanchez the best value in all of Philadelphia sports? Trending in the AM, we are live, taking your thoughts and opinions in 30 seconds. And a very good morning, everybody, and welcome to Trending in the AM right here on the STT Sports Network. Wherever you're watching, YouTube or Twitter, do me that favor. Hit that like button. Hit that share button. Of course, subscribe to the STT Sports Network YouTube page. If you're watching on Twitter, great. You can comment there, but also head over to the YouTube page because we also run a poll every single show on the STT Sports Network YouTube page. Today's poll is Christopher Sanchez the best value in Philadelphia sports right now? So you got to make sure you head on over there to vote on the poll. But otherwise, like, share, subscribe, turn the radio dial down, and tell one, tell all. Turn YouTube and Trending in the AM up. It's simple as that. You can plug and play. You can listen in the car. You can listen in work. Like when you're busy at work, like Duck, just put it on the background. The most entertaining, the best, most fan-friendly morning show there is in the business right here, guys. Got lots to talk about today. As today marks, we are now just under 2 hours away from the first practice for the Philadelphia Eagles as they begin their march to repeat as Super Bowl champions. Nick Sirianni is going to speak at 9:30 a.m. Practice begins at 10. A nice early practice so we can overreact all day and then all morning tomorrow about everything that went down today at the first practice. So super, super excited about that. We're going to talk about a couple roster moves. We are going to see how badly I butcher some of these names that the Eagles have brought in. Get some other football news to cover as well. Got a very interesting little camp battle, camp storyline, camp something to discuss with you guys as well. Also, we are going to talk to Phillies who won last night 4-1 over the Boston Red Sox. We could talk about the crazy Harper steal home, and they called the balk and catcher interference. It's like the weirdest shit is happening every single game for the Phillies. It's like it's either I don't get it, okay? But another situation there yesterday with the catcher's interference and all that kind of stuff. Again, 2 days in a row. But more so, I want to talk about Christopher Sanchez today and how elite he has been for this Philadelphia Phillies team. The fact that he's going to be in the conversation for the Cy Young at this point, and he is making a grand total of just over $2 million this year. I mean, we crush Dave Dombrowski, and rightfully so. But the dude did lock up Christopher Sanchez to a 4-year, $22 million deal. The dude's making $2 million this year, 3.5 next year, 6.5, 9.5. That's the way it goes for him. Like, just think about that. Just think about that deal. He is probably, Christopher Sanchez, the best value in all. I can't think of anybody that's better value right now than Christopher Sanchez. But let's get started. Let's go through some comments here. Good morning to you, Duck. Stupid busy is stupidly not fun. 553, yes, we've gotten up to 553 subscribers now. Picked up a few last night for Fairway to Heaven. Make sure you catch the replay. Some great back and forth between Jason and I on Scotty Scheffler and this week's 3M Open. So don't miss that. Good morning to you, Rick. Hope you are well this Tuesday morning. That's right. Go Birds. All right. So it's time. Well, it's time for me to try to pronounce one of the two new signings that the Philadelphia Eagles made. 30-year-old vet, played last 2 years with Cleveland, had about 7.5 sacks. He had 5 sacks at 22 with Houston. Played for the Rams, 6'2" defensive end. Ogbo, Okoronkwo, Okoronkwo. 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 Okoronkwo? Did I say it right? We're just going to call him Double O. All right? Yes, say his name, and he'll appear. God, why? Like, this is a move Howie Roseman makes, maybe for a little bit of depth, like Rick says. Howie Roseman mainly made this signing just for me and this morning show. Ogbo Okoronkwo. That might be so far from accurate, and that might be spot on or anywhere in between. We have no clue if that's right. Oh, my God. Seriously. Christopher Sanchez missed games in 25 with elbow inflation, side eye. He missed like 1 or 2 games early in the season. Yes, but since then he has been fantastic and spot on. We were owed after Dingerg. What? Dingery? Oh, Kingery. You're talking about Scott Kingery. Gotcha. That weird stuff happened to the Phillies is all the fun stuff we'll remember about this championship season. Yeah, look, it's fun. Like, there's always weird, quirky things that happen in special seasons. And we've had weird, quirky shit happen in the last 2 games, Rick, along with all season long. That's right. Ozzy Osbourne, rest in peace. The Prince of Darkness, unfortunately passed away yesterday at 76 years old. It's funny that yesterday morning we were talking about Adam Sandler flick Little Nicky, who Ozzy Osbourne actually had a role in it in helping capture the bad guy in that movie. So rest in peace to the Prince of Darkness. Still need a defensive end. Well, maybe. So I guess Howie Roseman watches this show every day. He must. Why wouldn't Howie Roseman? He's one of the 553 subscribers, right? The W is silent. So it's Okoronkwo. Gotcha. Okoronkwo. Not Quo, Co. Okoronkwo. Gotcha. Assisted Ozzy, yeah. Remember when we thought Mike Lorenzen was the answer? I too remember when Michael Lorenzen was a solid pitcher for a stretch until he threw that no-hitter and 400 pitches, and then it was never the same after that. What are you talking about? Anyway, the Eagles did sign Okoronkwo yesterday. They also signed, and this one's for you, Eagles are in need of defensive end. They also signed Jacob Sykes, defensive tackle, 6'3", 282. He played 9 games for the San Antonio Brahmas in the UFL. As the 15th player from the UFL that is signed to an NFL training camp roster, which is great to hear. Pipeline to get into the NFL, play in the UFL. They also I saw a post, and this is for Eagles are in need of defense end. They're going to do an expansion. 4 new teams coming to the UFL. Look at that. I know my UFL stuff. Is Howie a member of the core? If he is going to use our analysis. Well, he's not going to use your analysis, but he'll use everybody else's analysis for sure. Look, the Jacob Sykes move is more of a practice squad type move. He's not going to make the roster at defensive tackle. The defensive tackle room is set. But the Okoronkwo move is a move. Just think about it. He's 30 years old. He's got about 16 or 17 sacks in his 6-year career in the NFL. He's probably not going to make the roster. But could he push Antoine Powell-Ryland for an initial roster spot? Maybe. Could he steal from Josh Uche, who was a healthy scratch in the Super Bowl? Maybe. He's the kind of guy, also, veteran at 30 years old, he instantly becomes the oldest player on our defense, previously held by Adoree Jackson, who's only 29. The fact that a 30-year-old is the aging vet on our defense, it's kind of crazy. I'm bummed because all 4 USF facilities are moving cities, no expansion. Oh, so they're not 4 new, they just move them. Gotcha. Well, I did not know that. I really didn't care about the UFL. The only reason why I cared, I thought it was cool when I read after the Eagles signed Jacob Sykes that's now 15 players that are in camp for the NFL from the UFL, because that's what the UFL is for. That's what secondary football leagues are for, to be a pipeline to the NFL, to get these guys opportunities that otherwise wouldn't have gotten a chance to have game tape, to be seen and noticed by NFL teams. I ask about Ozzy Friday. Then Phil calls up Little Nicky. You don't feel at all responsible? Oh, because I mentioned Little Nicky, I'm responsible? What? I kind of forgot he was in Little Nicky until somebody shared it. Pal Ryland in his second year will prosper like Nolan Smith. Yeah, well, this is his first year, Antoine Pal Ryland. I've seen some people, Rick, say that Okoronkwo could beat him out for a roster spot. I don't think he can. I think if he beats anybody out for a roster spot, it would be Uche. Because Pal Ryland, I don't think you could get Pal Ryland through to the practice squad. I think he's a guy that another team, if you cut him, would pick up right away or steal from our practice squad. So I think they like him, like you do like him a lot, and I think he has enough of a pedigree that he will be on the roster. He might not be a game day active, but he'll be there most days. There's a lot of deception in Sanchez's changeup. He left a lot of those changeups up, and it really didn't matter. I watched a lot of that game last night, and I was just so I've always been impressed with Christopher Sanchez's stuff. But, man, last night, 9-inning, complete game, only gave up 4 hits, one of which was a solo home run in the 4th inning. So 4 hits, 1 run, no walks, 12 strikeouts. It only took him, even with 12 strikeouts, 106 pitches to get through 9 innings. Talk about efficiency. And let me tell you, I was fully expecting him not to come out for the 9th inning because that's Rob Thompson's MO. Oh, excuse me. But I'm so glad he let him go out there, and he mowed through the order. 7 or 8 pitches in the 9th inning to get out of it. Good morning, Eric. The gatekeeper, the Phil Illuminati is here. Okay, I thought I figured you knew that. I want to see the college football players get a second chance to show their skills. Exactly, and that's what the UFL, the IFL, and a lot of these secondary leagues are. They're there to give these college players a second chance. Guys, we got a lot of people watching. Make sure you hit that like button, that share button, that subscribe button, and vote on our poll question. We're talking Eagles. We're talking Phillies. Drop your questions. Drop your comments. We got lots to get into today, and I'm trying to get caught up on comments here. Calls the tune. He gatekeeps the content, always. Pal Ryland isn't getting claimed by anyone. You think if the Eagles cut Antoine Pal Ryland, in theory, to then move on to practice squad, he would clear waivers? I don't know. When we got him, there was a lot of talk that he had a much higher draft grade than where the Eagles got him. I don't even remember. Was he a 6th rounder, I think? And then I think people were saying he should have gone in the 4th. I don't know. I think he would. Hey, gang, the Phillies just had an impressive feel-good win. Let's go check the comments. Has there been anything negative yet in the comments? I don't think there's been a single negative thing in the comments yet. Let's get to work, players. The nation needs content. That's right. Like, share, subscribe. Vote on the poll. So far, the poll answers of is he the best value in Philadelphia sports? Absolutely, 47%. Yes, 18%. Of course, 0%. And 35% of the votes so far said, let's talk more Eagles. So I love that. Sanchez equals quite a steal in Philly's last 10 years or longer. Yeah, I mean, the fact that Christopher Sanchez is making just a tick over $2 million. I think it's $2.005 million or something. He's on a 4-year, 22. Like that, literally. The lone good thing that Dave Dombrowski's done. Wish I knew who Christopher Sanchez was so I can answer that question. Starting pitcher for the Philadelphia Phillies. Pitched a 9-inning complete game last night. Just dominated the Boston Red Sox. In conversation for Cy Young. Eagles won't leave Pal Ryland in the to be claimed. He will be, I keep saying cut, but yeah, be claimed, waived and whatnot. Developed this year, and by year 2 will develop like Smith and Hunt. Yeah, I mean, I think there's a storyline, not like a serious storyline, but a storyline on what Hunt's going to look like in year 2 and what Nolan Smith is going to look like in year 3 this year. I expect huge things from both Nolan Smith and J.L.X. Hunt this year, but I'm still curious to see how they take their next steps. I mean, just think about it. This time last year, Nolan Smith was still a question mark to some. Not to me. I was patient with Nolan Smith. Remember, Brandon Graham didn't start breaking out till year 4 in Philadelphia. So I'm curious to see how Nolan Smith, who had a play in 4th quarters of preseason games last year, how he takes that next step this year. Quietly, he is also coming back from an injury, as well. And Jalen Hunt kind of came on strong late in the year. I thought Jalen Hunt, when we drafted him last offseason, I thought he was a 3 to 4 year project. I didn't think he was going to have any impact the last year on this team outside of special teams. So I'll be curious to see how quickly the development continues with Jalen Hunt. There's obviously a lot of raw talent there with the kid. So we'll see. What's good, Eric? Yeah. What's up, Judd? APR has T-Rex arms, does he? That's interesting. Good morning, Davey. How you doing? Any news out of Eagles camp today? No. Well, practice begins at 10 a.m. Nick Sirianni speaks at 9:30. Thankfully, Nick Sirianni decided to wait till the morning show was over to have his morning press conference today. The only news is that the Eagles signed UFL Jacob Sykes from the San Antonio Brahmas to a camp contract. Prospect kind of guy, had 2 sacks in the UFL last year in 9 games. And they brought in former Cleveland Browns, former Houston Texan, former LA Rams defensive end Ogbo Okoronkwo, 30-year-old guy, maybe to push an Uche or a Pal Ryland, something like that. Ryan Howard's 07 was probably the best value. What was he making in 07? Because that would have been his second year, because 06 is when he won Rookie of the Year, right? I think I'm trying to get the right years down here, but I'm sure he was making a hell of a little bit of money there at that point. Sanchez is on par with Paul Skeens. Oh, I didn't say all sports, but I'm sure Paul Skeens is making next to nothing. The thing that makes Sanchez such a great value too, Rick, isn't just the price tag. It's the fact that was a free agent contract extension that he signed. It's not like he's on a rookie contract or an arbitration settled contract. He's on a 4-year deal, making only $2 million this year. That's what's so special about Christopher Sanchez's contract. I think Nolan could grab the 0 jersey. Somebody did grab the 0 jersey. I want to say it was Ojulari. It's not Nolan Smith. Somebody did go out and grab it. I'm not a big jersey number tracker. I know a lot of people get hyped or excited or pissed off when players wear certain jerseys and stuff, or can't wait to find out. I don't care about jersey numbers, but I do know I read somewhere that someone grabbed it. Judd said he was low on Nolan Smith this time last year. There were a lot of Eagles fans that were low on Nolan Smith. And I sat here on this show and told y'all, remember Brandon Graham? What was he like? His first 3 years, he was labeled a bust. Now he's an all-time great. He's 3rd on the Eagles sack list of all time. So you always got to be patient with defensive ends. Got to be patient with all draft picks to an extent. Eagles are absolutely loaded. I remember they used to need cornerback and linebacker. Linebackers are no longer an issue in Philadelphia, and possibly may never be an issue anymore. Smith and Hunt combined will have 20 sacks this year. It's possible, Rick. I think one of them will lead this team in sacks. I'm not sure which one. I mean, in theory, we should assume it's going to be Nolan Smith, but it could be Jalen Hunt. I'm trying to think about the sack numbers. I could see Smith at 8.5, 9.5 sacks. Jalen Hunt around 5.5, 6.5. That's a conservative. So 16, 17 would be a fair conservative expectation. 20 would be they both had excellent seasons. So I think 20 is just pushing a little too far right now, but I get it. Salute, yes, to all, yes. Yes, Tyron Matto, the Honey Badger retired, a guy that was linked to the Eagles about 47 different times throughout his career. I asked this on Twitter yesterday. I got mixed results on it. Is the Honey Badger a Hall of Famer? Probably not, but he's really damn close. Maybe one of those guys that eventually gets in. 4-time All-Pro, played 13, 14 years in the NFL. LSU standout, Saints, Kansas City, Houston, Arizona. Christopher Sanchez, extension had Howie Roseman signature. Yeah, it was a very Howie Roseman-esque deal. It was not a Dave Dombrowski deal. It was, but it didn't seem like it. 162-game season means 1 game in MLB is equivalent to 5 minutes of an NFL game. Now, I'm not going to fact check you on that, but okay. I'll trust you on that one, mister. Y'all following the ongoing Jerry Jones? Oh, my God. I just saw literally 10 minutes before the show started Micah Parsons' response to Jerry Jones. Like, I put out a tweet, like, after the Jerry Jones video. I tried to bring it up yesterday. No one wanted to talk about it. How I hope Jerry Jones lives to be 300 years old and is in charge of the Cowboys the entire time. The dude is clueless. The dude has no, he makes Josh Harris look like a great owner of the Sixers. That's how bad Jerry Jones is. At least Josh Harris just keeps his mouth shut and just ignores the Sixers fan base and the Sixers team. That's at least one good thing, right? That positive. I'm looking at the positive there. Jerry Jones can't shut his mouth ever, which is comical, honestly, at this point. A lot of you all buried Nolan Smith early on, told you all to be patient. I was right on board with you on that. A guy like Nolan Smith needed time to develop, without a doubt. I was low on Nolan Smith, too. I was still talking about how we should have drafted Brian Branch instead of him. Well, I did want Brian Branch because at the time we needed safeties. There's still an argument to say maybe we still do need a safety. I don't know. That's a question that we'd have to answer another time. K1, it is nuts how bad Jerry... Dude, Micah Parsons, if I was Micah Parsons, I'd just like, deuces, I'm out. Trade me now, or I'm just going to sit out and never play again. I got enough money. Even when the 4 years are up, the Phillies own the 2-year options. Exactly. After the 4 years, he's got 2 player options. I got his contract up on the side screen here. Those player options, the club options are 14 and 15 million, which if he keeps up at this pace and stays healthy, will be steals. Can you imagine paying an elite pitcher $15 million in 2030? That's insane. I predict Hurts leads the NFL in passing yards and passing touchdowns this season. That's a tough one. That's a tough one to swallow. We're well over 20 viewers concurrent right now. Guys, hit that like and share button, and please subscribe. And vote on. There's 20 people watching on YouTube, only 17 votes. So, guys, get in there. Let's go. Can we get to 20 concurrent? We've been to 22 today already. I don't know what's happened with Twitter. Twitter's come off my screen, so I don't even think we might be live on Twitter. But it's just not counting the Twitter views anymore. I wonder how many touchdowns the fullback will have this year. Ben Van Summeren, yeah, I mean, he'll have some. Ben Van Summeren is solid. I'm excited to see the fullback. I'm excited to see what the fullback does to the run game. All for sure. I hope you're wrong. No reason for the Eagles to pass that much unless they're, yeah, exactly. Don't want them. I don't think it's possible, but maybe. Give Rick Beeman a medal. Look, I deserve a medal. I was hyped. I was still on him. I was still fine. Jerry Jones is a cheap bum. Absolutely. Oh, there, Twitter views popped back up. Jerry Jones is a cheap bum. I mean, we don't agree on much. Eagles are in need of defense end. We 1,000% agree that he is the worst. Make it a gold medal? Some of your takes make it bump down to a silver medal. I wish Jerry a long and productive life as well, K1. I had Nolan Smith as my breakout player last year and got laughed at. Oh, that's good. Good for you. No, it's good. I didn't have him as a breakout star, but I had him as one of those guys to be patient with because I didn't know what we were going to. You just couldn't know what we were going to get yet. You couldn't rate him. People forget he was injured at the start of his rookie year. Had a very short training camp. He was still hurt like week 2 or 3 of his rookie year and trying to play through it. So that people overreacted, not fully grasping his situation. The guy, Nolan Smith, people forget, there were a lot of draft experts, and I'm not a draft expert. There were people mocking Nolan Smith into the spot where we drafted Jalen Carter in the top 10. That's how highly touted Nolan Smith was, that he was a top-tier draft pick. And he fell all the way to 30 or 31, whatever it was to us. Just think about that. Cowboys roster is a joke. Yeah, no argument there. I was higher on Nolan more than Dean. Oh, see, I'm a huge Nakobe. Nakobe Dean was one of my breakout stars last year. And he was until he got hurt. Got a pink medal. Brian Branch issue is independent of Nolan Smith. It was a win-win either way. I think it's a fair way to look at it. Just shows. Are you breaking down the math for me? Oh my God. Thanks. I appreciate that. You're not wishing him well from a good heart, K1. You want him to love, yeah. Oh man, Jerry Jones. Gotta love him. Love that Facebook is going to be more and more fullback is going to be more and more included in the offense. Yeah, I mean, it's something I love to see. It's an old school football vibe with a fullback out there. Smash mouth football, which is what we grew up on, Rick. So I love that. I do love the run game. I want the Eagles to stay focused on the run game. It's because that's what they do great with Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley's not going to be here for the next 10 years. At his age, with his wear and tear mileage, what do we got? 2 more great years at Saquon Barkley? We're going to have Jalen Hurts here for the next 10 years. So Jalen Hurts can get his numbers later. Right now, you ride that bell cow till the wheels fall off. And by having a fullback out there 10, 12, 15 times a game, why not? Now, last year, I remember doing the math at the end of the season. I think they only ran a fullback like 3 plays a game on average. I want to see it being 8 to 10 plays a game where Ben Van Summer's out there. He can also catch the ball out of the backfield. You know, he could be a Kyle Juszczyk kind of guy. How many games were the Eagles behind last year? Not too many, Adam. Eagles are in need. That's fair, yeah. 82. His clock is in the final. Yeah. Oh, is Jerry Jones 82? I couldn't even have told you how old. He looks and sounds like he's 90 sometimes. How he learned and got Coop. Yeah, it's fair. Hot Take Wednesday, have to meet outrageous claims for general purpose. So it's Overreaction Monday, and it's Hot Take Wednesday. Okay. I'm good with that. I actually am disappointed the NFL has not expanded. They will expand at some point, the NFL. I guarantee it. It's going to happen. Big fan of Steen, but I think Kenyon Green entering Stoutland U will flourish. He was a first-round pick for a reason. He will prosper here like Becton did. A second chance. See, I agree in theory with what you're saying. I don't know if he will prosper here fast enough to overtake Steen. We got over 20 people watching. There's only 13 likes on this video. Guys, hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already done it, please. I don't think Green will rebound as quickly. The Becton rebound last year, Rick, we'll put your comment back up in a second. That Becton turnaround last year was just, that doesn't happen every year. You can't expect that to happen every year. Everybody. Some of these guys take some time to learn. You got, like, Jeff Stoutland has to break down all the bad habits that Kenyon Green has. Not everybody is the big ticket Mekhi Becton, who literally just immerses themselves with every ounce of information. Now, I'm not saying Green won't. I'm not saying Green can't. I'm just saying expecting that instant turnaround 2 years in a row with 2 different theoretically first-round busts is asking a lot. Now, maybe if by week 5 or 10 somebody gets hurt and Green's got to step in, sure, I have that confidence that he'll be ready, but I don't know if he'll be ready to steal that job week 1 from Tyler Steen. Making bets on, I wonder what the odds of a Ben Van Sumeren touchdown are going to be early in the season. All for it. John Ritchie is happy about fullback as well. Exactly. Oh, Tom Rathman. That's a great name from those great 49ers teams. There you go. Pulling the Tom Rathman out. I love it. Ben Van Sumeren will be a fantasy stud. I highly doubt that. But yeah, Will Shipley will eventually transition seamlessly into running back one spot after. Yeah, I get that. But are you ready to say that Will Shipley is going to be equally as amazing and Hall of Fame worthy as Saquon? He might be, but we don't have that information yet. I'm just saying that I'm all for the Eagles continuing to be a massive running team while Saquon Barkley still got his legs under him. You're not going to get 2,000 yards from Saquon again this year, but you could get 1,800. So I don't want to see Jalen Hurts leading the league in passing because he doesn't have to. Well, Phil, if Shipley was good, you could keep some tread on the Barkley tires. It's possible. That's another thing right there. What Eagle has the crap year next year? Not this year, next year? I don't know. Give me an example. Give me an example of an Eagle that had a crap year that you're trying to compare to. Ben Van Sumeren, former Michigan Wolverine. I guess. Go Blue. Whatever. Not a Michigan fan. Not a Michigan State fan. Kenyon Green will need time in Stoutland U, but he will develop really, really well. Oh, absolutely. I thought the way you were saying that previous comment, Rick, was that I thought the way you put that, you meant that Kenyon Green will pull a Becton and steal that job immediately from Tyler Steen. And I don't think that. I think Tyler Steen will be the starting right guard. to start the season. Phil, would you like to see some gold or emerald Kelly Green on our next Super Bowl rings? Well, I definitely don't want to see Kelly Green on it. Dude, those Super Bowl rings were banging, Davey. They absolutely were. I will say there was a new video I saw this morning. I don't know when it dropped, but I saw it this morning. It was before the ring ceremony that some media member was asking all the Eagles who's most likely to lose their Super Bowl ring first. And like the first three answers were Quinion Mitchell, Q. Everybody just threw Quinion Mitchell under the bus immediately that he was going to be the guy to lose his Super Bowl ring. It was kind of funny. You know Saquon is a Swahili name? I don't know what Saquon is. No, I did not know that. I'm a dog. The big bad dog, are you? Yeah, good for you. How much are we going to miss Kenny G? Not at all, unfortunately, K1. Adam, we won't miss Kenny G at all. Kenny G was an important piece, but Kenny G was a replaceable piece. And Will Shipley will step in, and in theory will do just fine filling in for him. Who did the dog, the bounty hunter? What? I don't even know what that is. The dog, the bounty hunter. That's right. That was that reality show. Ben Van Summer and John Ritchie both left Michigan for greener pastures because the tight end fullback room was too crowded. I really miss him greatly. You miss him just because you stare. You're like that. What is it? Is it Wolverine holding the picture frame meme and people put other things in there? That's K1 laying in bed holding a picture of Kenny Gainwell, the box of tissues next to him. That's what I imagine with K1 and Kenny Gainwell. Will Shipley will be an excellent running back too this year, and Dillon going to be a great short yardage guy. Look, on the A.J. Dillon, I still say Rick. I am not 100% sure he makes the team. The guy has not played a down of football since November of 2023 because he had what at the time they thought was a career-ending injury. Now, I hope, because it would be a great story if he's able to make the comeback and be that great short yardage guy. Got a lot of experience. I enjoyed him with Green Bay when he was healthy behind Josh Jacobs as that number 2 running back. Not Josh. Was it Josh Jacobs? Who was the Green Bay running back? Josh Jacobs was the Raiders. Anyway, but I have to see him take a hit or two and get back up. I got to see what the legs got left in them power-wise to be that short yardage guy. We'll see. Time will tell. Who's this year's Bryce Huff? Okay, gotcha. I didn't know if you were talking about like a Bryce Huff situation or a busted draft pick. I didn't know. Who's going to be this year's Bryce Huff? That's a tough one. Got to think about that for a second. Give me a minute or two to come back to this one. Who's going to be this year's Bryce Huff? I don't know. I got to think long and hard. I did say long and hard. Steen will be a starter. Green, excellent depth. Absolutely agree. Now, maybe he steals it from Steen because Steen's great as the bench guy, but I hope not. Best Super Bowl ring ever. Yeah, the wings are great. Is Jake over his yippies? Well, hopefully Charlie Hewlett, the new long snapper, him and Brandon Mann are on the same page. It's an underrated topic, Davey. Now Jake was over his yips in the Super Bowl. He had a phenomenal Super Bowl, Jake Elliott. But I hope so. I absolutely hope he's over the yips. Will he be? We'll find out. September 4th is right around the corner, right? I'm still trying to figure out who's this year's guy, like he says. Maybe Jeremiah Trotter Jr. No. Whoever the starting safety opposite of Keely Ringo, week 1 could be that Bryce Huff, maybe. Everyone has a Brian Scalabrine. Best dancer in the world, right? Twitter got broke yesterday when Bill's going to wear a red helmet. I don't think anybody cared. There will never be a replacement for Kenny G in my heart. I mean, it's like losing your when you propose to your girl and she says no, and you just never give up on you. It's so sad. I feel bad for you, K1. Louder for the people in the back. That's right. K1 missed Ozzy great. Yeah. Ozzy who did the theme song. Oh, really? I didn't know that. At least we still have Keith Richards are in need of defensive end. Yeah. The first missed block by a back will be K1. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Michigan State never a green pasture than Michigan. Look, I'm not a fan of either. I'm not a college guy. My man, one of my best friends, Jason, who does the golf show with me. He's a Michigan State alumni. So I guess I lean towards Michigan State for that reason, Rick. But honestly, I could care less about either school. I guess Tom Izzo has always been a great college basketball coach. So I guess I lean that way a little bit. But that's it. Good morning, little G. Haven't seen you in the house the last couple of days. Welcome back. Hopefully it was just a hip flexor for Elliott last year. I think there was a little bit of an injury issue. I think there was a little issue with the snap and holding situation, hence why they went out and got a new long snapper. I think there's a few things in it. And then also yips. It's very common for catchers to get the yips, or kickers to get the yips. I think it was a combination of multiple things with him. But in the Super Bowl, he drilled every kick straight down the middle. So I'm not worried about Jake Elliott at all anymore. I think Jake overthinks a lot of his kicks. Maybe he did once he started missing kicks. Yeah, maybe he did. Guys, we're at like 24 concurrent viewers. Means we should have 24 likes on this video, at least one new subscriber, and 24 votes on our poll question. Guys, like, share, subscribe. Would greatly appreciate it. I think Jake's over it. I think Jake's fine. I'm confident that Jake Elliott is the best kicker in Eagles history, and he will be fine. Gainwell went to propose and fumbled the ring into the sand. I want to know how your proposal went, Judd. Did you plan something big and special, or did you just like, yo, here you go, let's go? I love white running backs. It's like driving a 75 Chevy Camaro built to last. I don't even know how to respond to that. Bryce Huff was a big free agent signing. We don't have any this season, so hard to do the comparison. Yeah, I'm just trying to think of who's going to be the biggest bust this year. Could be Sidney Brown if they give him the starting job. Could be Jeremiah Trotter Jr. till Jahad Campbell's ready. I guess Ojulari. A lot of us have a lot of hype on Ojulari being that third defensive end. It could be Keely Ringo. Could be Tyler Steen. When kickers get the yips, it's usually turn. It is. And I feel like Jake Elliott fixed that come playoff time. Elliott best player. He's just the best kicker. I already ranked Jake Elliott ahead of David Akers. I know David Akers had a much longer career here, but Jake Elliott's getting pretty close to the same amount of years. I'm going to get me a Jake Elliott jersey. I mean, you don't see too many people rocking kicker jerseys. So that would definitely set you apart from everybody else, Adam. So love that. I would love to see that. This football season finally be lit. Phil even going to live stream. I'm going to be live starting August 7th for every Eagles game, including the preseason games. No about a doubt, I'll be live right here. I'll have the game on here. We'll be bullshitting, having a great time. Every Eagles game, I'll be here. And maybe, in theory, if it's on TV locally, maybe I'll go live during the Eagles bye week for the Buffalo Bills game. Just for you, TMZ, since you're such a loyal listener. A couple more good Super Bowls, and Elliott will be right there with Vinatieri. He needs a walk-off. That's interesting. So I put him obviously ahead of David Akers, and most Eagles fans will. Some still think David Akers is better. But is he actually in the conversation soon to get to Adam Vinatieri level? I haven't even thought about that, Nooms. I used to see lots of Akers jerseys. I've never seen anybody wear an Akers jersey. Dude was a legend. He was great kicker. Elliott going to play in the PGA. Yeah, he's a great golfer, Rick. Jake Elliott is, for sure. Kickers aren't football players. No, they're not athletes at all. I have no idea what they do to get ready for a game. So it's so funny you say that. I got this new kid at the pizza shop, Miles. He's a sophomore at Kennett High School, and he's shout out to Kennett Square, and he plays on the football team. I'm like, did you play varsity? Are you going to be a varsity this year as a sophomore, or still JV? He's like, I'll be a JV. I think he said he's a cornerback or something like that. But he's like, I will be playing both because I'm the varsity team's long snapper. I'm like, a long snapper? You're not even a football player. You're a long. He's like, I had to go to a special camp to train and this and that. I'm like, dude, long snappers don't count. She wanted it to be private. I surprised her on a log flume under the boardwalk. It was my favorite place as a kid. Cool to show her back. Oh, that's so sweet. I didn't know you had that kind of cuteness in you, Judd. I thought you were just an asshole like me. Should we sign free agent offensive tackle Shane Gillis? Oh, man. Go Eagles. Dallas sucks, right? I used to deliver to a guy who had a signed Akers jersey. Wow. I didn't know anybody had David. All right, so we all know people that had David Akers jerseys now. Do we know anybody that has a Jake Elliott jersey at this point? I had no idea we were going to go down a 10-minute run today on Jake Elliott and the kicking situation. I think it's hilarious. John Dorbas going to make you disappear if you shit talk long snappers. John Dorbas would just like knock me out too. That as well, right? John Dorbas. We John Dorbas and then what's his name? Lovato last year. Had like very few long snappers here in Philly over the last couple decades, just like kickers. It's funny. We talk about Akers and we talk about Jake Elliott and how long they're here. There was a stretch in Eagles history where we constantly had bad kickers and we were constantly rotating in retreads. I mean, we could go back to Roger Rusick in the late 80s. Now we've been blessed to have a great kicker for a very long period of time, and I love to see it. Phil, poor Miles, number of kickers count. What? Is ex-hockey player Dan Quinn still the best non-tour member, ex-athlete golfer? That guy. So I haven't really paid attention to the celebrity golfing, and I would consider anybody that's not a professional golfer a celebrity golfer. I know John Smoltz was really good for a little while. Mike Mussina, a former Yankees pitcher, is really, really good golfer. Tony Romo has tried and almost qualified for the U.S. Open before. He's been given sponsors exempts to a couple PGA Tour events, Tony Romo. And he's good, but he's not good enough to compete against the pros. That's the tops of my knowledge right there. Long snappers have job security, absolutely. Yeah, long snappers. Show me a magic trip. John Dornbos is connected people. He knows a guy that knows a guy. Yeah, he knows Big Dom. And all he does is call Big Dom up, and it's over. Gary Anderson was accurate but had no range. Chris Benoit was the exact opposite. Dude, we had so many bad kickers. And then we went Akers and Elliott for such a long stretch. It's so great. I know there's a little gap in between the two. One of the Atlanta Braves pitchers was really good. It was I'm pretty sure it was John Smoltz, was a very, very good golfer. There's a couple others. I used to watch the American Century. It's the celebrity golf tournament in Lake Tahoe every year. I didn't watch it this year. Fun event. Steph Curry's a good golfer, but not to the elite of the celebrities. Smoltz, Mussina, Tony Romo. They're the tops I can think of off the top of my head right now. But, guys, we got lots of people watching still. 23 people in the YouTube room. Make sure you're hitting that like button, that subscribe button. We go live here every single morning. Vote on our poll question. Is Christopher Sanchez the best value in Philadelphia sports? Is there anybody on the Eagles that you consider the best value? Jalen Carter on his rookie contract still. It's still a pricey rookie contract because he was a first-round pick. But still, I guess, being that he's one of the best defensive players. Zach Vaughn would have been that answer last year, but now he's on a much bigger contract. Jalen Hurts to me. I mean, he's the 9th highest paid quarterback in the NFL now? 10th highest paid? I mean, he's a Super Bowl MVP and he's the best quarterback in the NFL. I'd make an argument that Jalen Hurts is a great value. I don't think anybody on the Eagles lives up to the Christopher Sanchez value. But, man, who's the best value in the Sixers? Who's the best value in the Flyers? 3 days till happy. What's 3 days? Is that when the Bills start? We're lucky to have Elliott as our kicker. People don't appreciate great kickers until they – Exactly, Rick. The Mr. Lady will not be in it. What? Hurts is a great value. See, I agree. We're on the same page with that. Jalen Hurts is a great value. Some Flyers fans will say Mitchkoff. I think first-round draft pick contracts are too pricey to consider value to an extent in sports. Hurts is also in value, but Carter's chef's kiss. Even on the rookie deal still. Ranger Suarez is only making $8.8 million this year. Yeah, but Christopher Sanchez is making $2 million. Anthony, and yeah, Mitchkoff is great value. I agree with this. Rookie contracts make it tough, especially first-round rookie contracts make it tough. That's why Christopher Sanchez on his second contract now, he signed a 4-year, $22 million contract. The team bet on him. He didn't bet on himself and wait out. I agree, Yas. Rookie contracts, so comparing Jalen Carter or Mitchkoff to this, it's tough to do. So I'm looking at guys that are on real contracts, not rookie contracts. That could be comparison. I get Anthony's Ranger Suarez comparison, but $8.8 million versus $2.05 million. It's a lot of difference. I'm trying to think who on the Eagles is on a cheap deal right now. That could be it, for sure. I guess maybe Reed Blankenship. Isn't Reed Blankenship only making $1.4 million? He's going to be a captain and a starting safety on this team. Still shocked he didn't get an extension. But maybe Reed Blankenship would be the Eagles version. Love Carter and on this deal because the next Jalen Carter contract is going to be somewhere in the realm of $140, $150 million with borderline $100 million guaranteed. He is going to get paid a crap ton money, okay? A lot of crap loads of money, right? Before his contract, Jordan Mailata, dude, absolutely agree. He still might be. I saw somebody signed the NFL, some left tackle just signed like a $98 million deal. Isn't Mailata at like $68 million or something like that? Jordan Mailata is the best left tackle in football, in my opinion. And that's not even being homerish. Think I'm getting pizza for Happy Gilmore. Sure, cool. Absolutely. Flyers need to make signing Connor McDavid number one priority next offseason. Yeah, you've already talked about that. Let's worry about this season before we worry about next offseason. Rick, Patrick Robertson was huge value, was he? Back in late March, I put $2 on Christopher Sanchez to win the NL Cy Young. Potential payout 42. Could happen. Dude, you know what's funny? It absolutely could happen, Rick. Or Chet. It absolutely could. And guys, check out Philly Press Box Radio. Bob Brookover from NJ.com will be on the show with Chet and Bill Furman tonight, live 7 p.m. right here on the channel. So, guys, check it out. Bob Brookover with Chet and Bill. Christopher Sanchez is in the conversation. He won't win it. And you know, this happened in the past plenty of times in Philadelphia. Will Christopher Sanchez steal votes from Zach Wheeler? Because in my mind, Zach Wheeler should get it, and Christopher Sanchez should be number 2. But I kind of feel like when two teammates are both in the conversation, everybody votes for one or the other. And then it lowers it. It was like Joel Embiid and Dario Saric, their rookie year. They stole Rookie of the Year votes from each other. Was the conversation. But he's definitely in the conversation. If he doesn't get some votes. Did anyone get tickets for Odyssey? They are mostly selling out. What? No. So what time do players take the field? Today, they take the field at 10 a.m. for practice. Jim Eisenreich was one of my favorite Phillies growing up as a kid. Just loved the dude. The dude was a classic hitter. Just got base hits all the time. Played solid defense. Yes, Chet Show is fantastic. It is a great listen. Absolutely. Chet is great value. Absolutely. 30% of 90. We're really going back in time. But, yes, I'm sure Jim Eisenreich was on a great value contract. Danny Jackson was a great value. Terry Mulholland, his whole career was a great value. Mickey Morandini was a great value. Mariano Duncan was a great value. Kim Batiste was a great value. I can name the whole team if you want me to. Eagles, and I heard all the IMAX tickets sold out immediately. I don't even know what we're talking about. So, what is Chet's contract? When is Chet's contract? I don't know. Do we have a contract with Chet? I don't think we have actually have a contract with him. It's kind of just we love each other and we take care of each other. I don't think there's an actual contract there for us to worry about. All right, we're up to 20 likes on this video. Got to do better than 20 likes, guys. So please hit that like button, please. No new subscribers. All these people tuned in for the first time today. No new subscribers. We've got 20 votes. Still, 30% want to talk more Eagles. I still have the surprising newspaper headline. I don't even remember that one. I'm writing that down. I don't remember that one. Jim Eisenreich surprise. I'm going to look that up after the show. We'll see if that impresses me as much as your whatchamacallit reference from the other day. Don't Jerry Jones Chet. I would never Jerry Jones Chet. Chet seems like the F you pay me kind of guy. Yeah, is he like Chet doesn't strike me as a holdout like Trey Hendrickson or Terry McLaurin. So again, here's another comment about how great the Eagles are. We're getting underway today. 9:30, Nick Sirianni speaks. 10 o'clock, practice. Everybody is in camp. You got in Cincinnati. Trey Hendrickson took his wife and left Cincinnati to head to Florida because of his contract situation. Terry McLaurin, Washington. They paid all those overpriced aging superstars like Deebo Samuel and Laramie Tunsil, just to name a few. but fail to retain and give the money needed to Terry McLaurin, who's been there for how many years? The Eagles are such a well-built, oiled machine. And the NFL, the rest of the NFL, you see Jerry Jones, you see Josh Harris with the Commanders, you see Cincinnati run like a disaster. And it just makes you appreciate the way the Eagles take care of business right now. That's what's so special about Howie Roseman and the Eagles. I don't know. I don't even know what movie you guys are talking about. I think Chet has all the leverage here. Pay the man his money. He beat me fair and square. All he do is check. He trapped me. Yeah, way too many Chet mentions this morning. Exactly. I've had my fill of the amount of times Chet's name has been said in the chat. I'm on board with you, Chet, with that one. But you guys do a great show, and you got a great guest tonight. I think the Eagles are just clear about their culture and what they value from day one. Nothing screws up team dynamics more than constant you know what I'm saying. Anyway, listen. Absolutely. It's all about culture. It's all about value. It's all about the team above the individual in Philadelphia. And not only do they have to keep that happening, but they also have to get every player to buy into that. And if you don't buy into it, they move on from you. Bryce off. It's very hard to get 53 grown adults to see it this way. But it also takes the leaders like Nick Sirianni and Howie Roseman to keep it going. That's what makes it special. He does feel seen. Never enough Chet. Bring me. We want more Chet. Morning, Jonathan. How you doing today? Phillies win with awesome job by Sanchez, getting ready for Eagles season and return to the Super Bowl. I mean, that sums up the show. Show's over. Mic drop, right? No, I'm just kidding. I just lost my pen. Tried to mic drop my pen, and I just dropped it, plain and simple. 76 is going to be, stop. Let's not even, we're having too much fun today. Why would you even bring the Sixers into the conversation? Eagles are in, Atlanta has a 70 IMAX theater, and I got to go see Oppenheimer in it. Best movie experience ever. Pretty cool. It's the chat. No, stop. You guys all should tune in and blow up his chat tonight at 7 p.m. right here on the STT Sports Network. My company won the contract bid to back the Brinks truck up for the Jalen Carter deal. We needed the extra long trailer with the wide load signs. Love it. You have one of those wide load signs, but you also have to have like the trailing car, right? To protect, to block traffic too. The Super Bowl win can help with culture. Absolutely. Obviously, it gets a lot easier when you win, Big Al. But on the flip side, this great culture was here in 22. It was here in 2023. And then it kind of broke apart at the end. And what did they do? They fixed the problem. They got rid of Hassan Reddick. Eagles, back-to-back champs. Bank it now. I mean, yeah. I was going to say something, but I can't really give enough examples. But I was like, I'm more confident in back-to-back champs now than I was in the 08 Phillies back-to-back in 09. That was pretty much the only opportunity I had to compare that, confidence level-wise. 17 to 18 with the Eagles. I think I'm more confident now than I was in 17 to 18. So many good tackles last year happened because the players stayed in their lanes. Verse is very good, but many of those plays happened because Verse tried to be a hero. It's trusting the man next to you, right? Stay in your lane. Know the guy next to you is going to do their job as well. Also, why Hassan Reddick? Exactly. Eagles do win back-to-back championships. Phillies win this year, 3 championships in 2 years. I would be 4 because if you include the Sixers in that as well, right? We have the Vanilla Gorilla. Yeah, first Vanilla Gorilla name drop of the day. How about that? Most confident I've had an Eagles team ever. I actually, is it weird, Rick, to say this in hindsight because I predicted the Eagles were going to win the Super Bowl last year. I had Eagles versus Houston because I didn't see the C.J. Stroud or the Texans drop-off last year or injuries that caused the drop-off last year. I had Eagles beating the Texans in the Super Bowl last year. That was my prediction. I heard Jalen Hurts versus C.J. Stroud for the title. That was my prediction. And I was very confident in it. I bet every Philadelphia team $5 to win the championship every year, no matter what. I had a bigger bet than that on the Eagles last year. Why? Because I was actually confident in it. And I'll drop $5 on them this year, as I always do. But I'm more confident this year than I was last year. Phil, just so you're trending, Odyssey is a movie coming out next year that is selling out. It's coming out next year, and they're already selling out tickets. First non-mid movie probably since Oppenheimer. I like when you say the Odyssey. Are you talking about like the Iliad and the Odyssey, the old Greek story? Is that what it's about? And how are you buying tickets already now for a movie that's coming out next year? And I still have not seen Oppenheimer. I know that's my bad. It's just a really long movie and a long commitment, so haven't gotten to it yet, but I know I will eventually. But we'll see what happens with that, guys. I'm assuming when you say Odyssey, you're meaning the Iliad and the Odyssey. I predicted the Eagles to win the Super Bowl II on this show many times, while a lot of these people were calling for Sirianni to be fired. I know. While we disagree on the Phillies and Rob Thompson, we were on the same page with the Eagles last year the entire time, and Nick Sirianni. I wasn't even upset with Nick Sirianni after his first initial press conference. So, yeah. The tickets sold out in minutes. It's going to be so massive. Why? Like, what is the reason for it? I mean, hasn't the Odyssey story been told before? Why is this Odyssey, if it's what I'm thinking it's about, if what I'm assuming it's about? I'm just curious why. As a diehard Bears fan yesterday, where does he rate Jalen Hurts in the top quarterbacks? He said third without batting an eye. Good to see not everyone is brainwashed. It's true. It's a great point. Great point, Eric. I think the Bears are going to be a massively disappointing team this year. A lot of hype to the Bears, and I just don't see it with Caleb Williams. I was not confident in the Birds last year until I saw the consecutive large margins of victory on the road. That's what did it for me. Maybe I was super confident in the Birds because I do have this unwavering opinion of Jalen Hurts, and I have had it since the day the Eagles drafted him. That's just, I've been following Jalen Hurts' career since his freshman year at Alabama. So maybe I've had some false or some biases towards my Eagles confidence over the years. And I was very confident last year, maybe some biases in there. But this year, there's no biases because I think this team is unflappable at this point. My 7D theater was sold out for 2 months. It's crazy. I haven't been to a movie theater since No Time to Die came out. That's the last movie I saw in a movie theater. And honestly, except for opening weekend of any James Bond movie, I probably won't go back to the movie theaters. I hate movie theaters. It would take a lot for me to go into a movie theater. Guilty. I say Nick fired last year. Yeah, I know a lot of you said that. Saw the new Superman movie yesterday. Kind of underwhelming. Maybe. I haven't seen it yet. I'll wait till it's online. Not by Christopher Nolan. What? Oh, Odyssey hasn't been done by anybody but Christopher. Okay, gotcha. Christopher Nolan is amazing. Absolutely. They promised to have written a script, unlike comic movies written by children. Superman, yuck. His brother Jonathan Nolan writes a lot of his scripts for him. He is really good. Yeah. So yeah, I didn't even know they were doing an Odyssey movie. So I just don't understand how a movie isn't coming out for a year and it's already selling out tickets. Like, it's crazy. Like, how do you even you just pre-buy the ticket? You don't know what day you're going to see it because movies get delayed all the time when they're going to come out. It's kind of crazy. Saw the new Mission Impossible. It was good. Part 2 next year. I thought they were done with Mission Impossible. I thought that was the last Mission Impossible movie, is what I've read. There were moments last year where he looked like Barry Switzer last year. What? Nah. I've seen 34 movies in theaters this year already. AMC Stubbs, A-list is killer. Chet, I do not enjoy the movie theater experience. I don't like sitting in a chair. I know chairs are more comfy and recline a little bit. I don't like sitting in a room with a bunch of strangers in the dark. I like to be able to pause the movie if I got to get up and use the restroom. I don't want to miss anything. I can't hold, like, a lot of movies are 2.5, 3 hours. Who can hold it that long? Not me. Okay, I'm 44. I just, something about it, if you don't get the perfect seat, I know now you can pre-pick your seat sometimes. If I could get a theater all to myself and have the remote, sure, I would go. But I don't like sitting in a movie theater. I really don't. Give me a couch in a movie theater, and maybe I'd consider it. Did you see how much weight Jordan Davis lost? I don't think he can play nose tackle for us anymore. I've seen the pictures. He lost all this weight last year, mister, but he didn't maintain it. The goal isn't for him to get in shape. The goal for Jordan Davis is, can he stay in shape? Huge fan of me. I know a lot of people are. It's just not my thing. What's the best movie this year? That's a good question. What is? Phil likes to smoke a bowl during the movie. Can't do that. Well, I will say the last movie I did that for, the first time, it was at home, but was the Joker, the original Joker movie. And I tripped out so bad during that movie. I actually flipped my recliner upside down and fell out of my chair because I was in such a bad situation, Rick, for that movie. Had all the lights out in the house, watching it. Sky was spinning. That movie, man. Literally, I had to go back and rewatch it the next day sober. Build a theater in your house would be cool. Yeah, I mean, I would do that. Sure. Nah, I get it. I understand it. I just don't personally feel comfortable in a theater. Superman is definitely the best movie so far this year. James Gunn killed it. Mr. Terrific. I love Mr. Terrific. Is such a great character, and the guy that played Lex was perfect. A lot of mixed reviews, Anthony. You got people that love it, you got people that hate it, and a lot of people that are indifferent on it. There's no consensus on the Superman movie. And I'll wait till it's online or on demand to watch it. Not going to say that out loud. I don't even remember what I was on that night, Edge. Not even sure. But, guys, it's the top of the hour, okay? Top of the hour. You're watching Trending in the AM on the STT Sports Network. If you haven't already, like this video, share this video, and subscribe. We started at 5:53. We're still there. Dude, a lot of new people watching today, so make sure we're subscribing and liking. Let's grow this channel. Let's grow the algorithm. Let's go. We're talking Eagles. We're talking Phillies. We're talking Christopher Sanchez contract. We're talking movie theater experiences. I think that's all that I had on my agenda today. So we're going to continue. And obviously, the unfortunate passing of Ozzy Osbourne yesterday at 76. Crazy that just 17 days ago he put on a concert. Ozzy Osbourne. And I wasn't a huge Ozzy Osbourne fan. I respected Ozzy Osbourne's legacy in music and what he means to the music industry. I had a small little stage in that heavy metal, of my life that I was into it, but not long enough to really understand his music. But the guy's a legend. One of the greatest of all time. Among my favorites this year, The Life of Chuck, Sinners, and Drop. I haven't even heard of Drop. We'll be seeing Superman this weekend. Okay. We'll get your opinion, Chet, on Superman next week. I have a 70-inch TV and a surround at home, so I don't have to go to the Exactly. I got a big-ass TV. I got a comfortable couch. I got a fridge full of beer or liquor above it. I don't need to go to a theater. What does a movie theater ticket on average? I know AMC's doing like the 50% off stuff now on like Wednesdays or whatever. What does a movie theater ticket even cost these days? Mr. Goff, because of work, who did you pick this week? Jake Knapp is the consensus pick to win this week. A lot of people are on Jake Knapp to win the 3M Open. The 3M Open, while missing the star power of recent weeks, is a very important golf tournament, Adam. There's only 2 more weeks for golfers to get into the golf playoff, the FedEx playoffs. So this week and next week at the Wyndham Championship, these are their chances to get into the playoffs, and that's it. So there's a lot of work to be done for a lot of golfers. And quote it from the team that runs the TPC Twin Cities. They want as many birdies as possible with as much carnage as possible. So a lot of birdies, a lot of double bogeys. That's what you're going to get this week at the 3M Open. His wife put him down in Switzerland in the word on the street. What? Ozzy and Ronnie James, Dio can duke it out again. Sinners was last movie I saw. I've heard of it. Heard it was great. Haven't seen it. Anyone from chat, pocket, any snacks to what? I don't like spending money at the movie theater either. Fantastic Four will be the next movie theater experience for me as my kids want to see it, but it's not looking like a very good movie, but we'll see. Yeah, like, how many times are we going to redo the Fantastic Four? Really? And have it be done poorly? Like, the Fantastic Four comics and the cartoons, great. But the original one they did with Ian Goldford or whatever, it wasn't bad. Jessica Alba. Wasn't bad, but the second one they did was terrible. The reboot with Miles Teller, horrible. This one just looks eh. Movie Tavern near me has $15 all the time. It also has heated recliners and food delivery. Yeah, like I get the Movie Tavern with the food and the beer and stuff. That's even more reason to hate movie theaters because gotta get up and pee in the middle of the movie. Movie popcorn, I think, is overpriced and overrated. I saw Ozzy at the Spectrum with Rob Zombie. Wow, that's a hell of a performance right there to get to go see. Some absolute legends. I'm sure Superman is okay. Yeah. This and K1, this is the exact thing with Superman. And the Fantastic Four and Avengers Doomsday when that comes out next. I'm over it. I asked this question like 2 or 3 years ago on this show. At some point, and when is that point going to be, where we just have superhero movie fatigue? And I've been at that point for at least a year or two now. Like, there's no superhero movie or TV show or anything that I got to go watch it. I just don't care anymore. Like, I felt this way before Endgame came out. I mean, I watched Endgame as soon as I could, but when Endgame came out, I was already tapped out on superhero movies. Like, I love a good superhero movie. I love a good Batman movie, but these universes are just too much. I need to know how good is Sinners without spoilers. A lot of people love it. I worked security at the East Center for a few Ozzy Fests back in the day. It was always an experience. Pretty cool. Never saw Ozzy. I've seen some heavy metal bands, but never Ozzy. Sinners took way too long to get going. Didn't get good till I was uninterested. Interesting. Gender swapping Silver Surfer turned me off. I'll pass. I mean, the actress herself, she played Ruth on the Ozarks. Why can't I think of her name? Amazing actress. But yeah, I mean, always they do those kind of things. Goated show. Yeah. The Marvels was the tipping point. It was so bad, the Marvels. 16 more subscribers. That means we haven't gained any new subscribers today. We've had a lot of viewers, but no new subscribers. When is the Fast and Furious going to end? Hasn't it yet? Are they doing more? Don't tell me they're doing more. 22 likes. We've done a solid job with the likes today. We have. The algo took off a little bit. The female Silver Surfer first appeared. Yeah, I thought I read something about that. All I ask, get Silver Surfer right and Dr. Doom. I mean, I don't know how I feel about bringing back Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom. I hear Captain America is going to be Captain Hydra. Like, anything to just keep milking the cash cow. I'm over it. Sinners was great. Yeah, I mean, it's just, the movie theater experience just isn't for me. It just isn't, guys. I'd rather continue talking about the Eagles. I'd rather talk about Christopher Sanchez's dominant performance. And I'm going to end, so we still got 20 minutes left. Maybe I'll save that one for tomorrow. Maybe we'll save that topic for tomorrow because we'll need something to kick off tomorrow. But Mac McWilliams. I forget who I was listening to yesterday or reading yesterday. We always talk about Keely Ringo. And will he win the job or keep the job or whatnot? Can he be a starting cornerback in the NFL? And we all keep saying, if he's not, Adoree Jackson will be the starter. But someone popped something up yesterday, and I forget where or who it was, and they talked about what if Adoree Jackson is just going to play the Isaiah Rodgers role, the bouncing around guy when somebody misses a few snaps or gets hurt or whatnot, and that Mac McWilliams will be the third starting cornerback next to Quinion Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, if Keely Ringo can't go. 5th round pick, 145th overall. We often forget about him when we're talking about the cornerbacks. I mean, I've written off Eli Ricks. I think Eli Ricks might even be a roster cut at this point. Outside of him being cheap and playing special teams, what role does Eli Ricks even have? What about Mac McWilliams? Do we have any thoughts on whether he can be a guy that can play significant minutes or significant snaps this year for the Sixers or for the Eagles? I don't know where I'm going. My mind is all over the place right now. Chet likes the algo today. Chet loves the algo today. Shady would throw parties in Buffalo, which expressly forbid ugly girls. What? What are you talking about? Happy Gilmore, too. I talked about it last night on Fairway to Heaven. Friday night, I'm leaving work early on Friday night. I'm letting them close up the pizza shop for me. I'm going home to watch Happy Gilmore on my couch Friday night when it comes out. And Happy Gilmore is a movie that I haven't determined whether it is going to be an absolute disaster clusterfuck or one of the great comedies of all time. My fear with Happy Gilmore is that they're going to try so hard to jam-pack so many cameos and so many nostalgic jokes into it that there's going to be no story. The story is going to be terrible. Does my description of what I think about it, Mitch, make sense? They're going to try so hard to get 27 PGA Tour golfers in it. They're going to try to get all the old guys in it, all the old jokes in it, that there won't be any new jokes. Or the new jokes will be hidden behind all that. That's my fear about Happy Gilmore. But I'm watching it as soon as I get home on Friday night. Of course, Mac McWilliams will definitely make the 53. I'm saying, can Mac McWilliams earn himself playing time and a role on this team this year if Keely Ringo can't go? If Keely Ringo is your starter and for sure earns that starting role, and I think Keely Ringo is one of those guys that's going to have a Nolan Smith role this year, Nolan Smith preseason role, well, he's going to play a lot of snaps, Keely Ringo. If Keely Ringo shows any cracks in practice or preseason games, can Mac McWilliams steal that spot? It's a thought. And it's something interesting. I forget who wrote that yesterday. Does the level of confidence that a lot of Eagles Nation have heading into the season bother you at all? Are we overconfident? Does that bother me as overconfident? Yes. No. Interesting. Maybe a little bit it bothers me. Maybe I'm used to us being the underdog. We're not used to being the dog. We're used to being the underdog. That's up to Nick Sirianni to make sure these guys, stay hungry all the time. Sometimes I don't get Adam Sandler movies with all the nipple twisting that goes on. I love it. Agree? Okay. I'm going to try to watch it 60. Oh, of course you are. Why wouldn't you? I'm seeing a lot of, I remember that from the first movie in the trailers. That's my fear. That's my worry. This is a nickel corner behind Perry Nicholson. Perry Nicholson ain't going to make the team. But see, the thing is, so Mac McWilliams, so what happens if Keely Ringo's not the starter? You slide Cooper DeJean outside and Mac McWilliams becomes your slot corner. Muchas gracias. Thank you very much. As always, I appreciate your support. Always, always, always. Why would we say Saquon's going to get injured? Even if Saquon gets injured, we're still a good team. We still got A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and Jalen Hurts, and the best offensive line in football. And there is a little bit of fear. We saw what Christian McCaffrey was like last year after his 2023 super year. It happens plenty of times where you have a big season, a lot of touches, and you go downhill. Happens all the time. But I think the Eagles have shown over the last 4 years how Nick Sirianni's process with practice, with training camp, with resting guys throughout the week. While we complain about it, it works and keeps our team healthy. So I'm confident in Nick Sirianni's system, UGuard, that these guys are going to stay healthy. What is it about some of these low draft picks that fires people up so much? I don't know anything about Mac McWilliams. I've seen the highlight tapes after he was drafted, but I know nothing. And I'm not 100% confident Keely Ringo is the guy. I'm 85%. But if he's not, who is the guy? That's the question. Will Happy Gilmore 2 have more cameos than the last Deadpool movie? It might. I still haven't seen it, but I've seen all the cameos. It might. Hell, if I was Happy Gilmore, I'd have Deadpool pop up in the movie. Could you imagine Deadpool popping up in the middle of Happy Gilmore? Exactly. I don't know if Mac McWilliams. I don't know. I thought it was interesting that someone brought up the idea of Keely Ringo, because nobody's saying Keely Ringo can't do it. Everyone's assuming he can. The problem is if he can't, who's the guy? Like, we don't know if Sidney Brown can do it. But we got Drew McCuba, and we think he could do it. Second-round pick, a top-end draft pick. We've got Tristan McCollum, who Vic Fangio likes. We don't know who's that guy if Keely Ringo can't do it. Is he your new Kenny G? Gotcha. I think we all cringed every hit Barkley took last year. We did. Travis Kelce's in the movie. MJF, for wrestling fans, is in the movie. There's a lot of people. I've JT, Bryson DeChambeau, Scotty Scheffler, Jordan Spieth. I've heard so many guys are in this movie. So many people are in this movie. And honestly, it might take away from the movie. Yeah, I mean, even Chet is in the movie. Eagles over under 11.5 wins. I'm not going to bet against them, but I'm thinking 11 wins. Yeah, I only make one record prediction, Chet, week 1 of the season, right before, a couple days before the Eagles play on Thursday. So probably the Monday before that game, I will make my record prediction. We'll go game by game on that show. But ballpark, I'm sitting at 11 wins. And I think ballpark 11 wins still wins the division. I got Washington 10-11. I got Dallas at 8 or 9. I got the Giants at about 6. Love Deadpool versus Wolverine. Saw it in the theater. Yeah, I'm just over superhero movies. When it's on free TV, I'll tune in. As long as Ringo isn't as like CJ, he can stay in the league for 10 years as a special teamers master pro. I'd love to see Tasker level contributions from Ringo this year. Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see the improvement, but I can't bank on it. Could Jahad Campbell be the Eagles' best value this year with where he got drafted and the impact he could have? Absolutely. I mean, I think we're putting huge expectations on Jahad Campbell. I don't think it would be a surprise if he proves he should have been a top 10 draft pick. It wouldn't be a shock to us Eagles fans. And on the flip side, where the comment that Nooms made here, all the hype that we put on these low draft picks, I think that we've come to the point where we never doubt if Howie Roseman's going to make a bad draft pick again. We just now assume that every top draft pick that Howie Roseman makes is going to be a superstar. I mean, when was the last time he made a mistake, Shout out Kane. Yeah, going back here. What? Deadpool versus Wolverine, Disney. Yeah, I mean, I don't pay for Disney. I can't pay for any more subscribing services. All right, just can't do it. 25 likes. We have boomed on the algo. We haven't gained any new subscribers, but we boomed on the algo. I'll give you my secret later. TMZ with the yeah. I loved Steve Tasker. Steve Tasker was Buffalo? Forget where he played. I miss high fructose corn sugar. What? I think I got a little secret now to boom this show. I'm not going to give my secret out loud, but I think I got a new boom. And I think that's why we've had such a high like and a high viewership total this week or today. We'll see if it works. We'll do it again tomorrow, and we'll see if it works. Do I like Coca-Cola? Absolutely. You got to be specific. There's lots of different types of Coke. Coca-Cola is the better drink. Absolutely. Yeah, Steve Tasker was Bills. I thought so. I thought he was a Bills. I really did. Absolutely. Now, I will say there's one Pepsi drink I love. I do love Pepsi Zero. Used to be called Pepsi Max. Big fan of Pepsi. I have one of those every single day. But, yeah, Coke is better. We like literally have come to a point with the Eagles where Howie Roseman, everything he does just seems to work. No doubt. Mute it. You're not muted. You're still here. Shorts work. That's not my secret, but I'm trying to put the StreamYard, the program I use to go live. They have a short creating function. It's in beta. It's getting better. Every week I seem to get better and better shorts out of it that I can post. Some of those shorts are just terrible. So I can't. So they help, but that's not my secret. Remember Pepsi Blue? Remember Crystal Pepsi or Pepsi Clear? What's on your end? What? Did I try Sprite iced tea yet? I don't even know what that is. Not even sure what that is. Anyway. What do we got going on? Practice. Nick Sirianni is going to speak in about 10 minutes. Super excited to hear what Nick Sirianni has. I'll listen to the whole press conference. I'll be ready to break it down. I got a fresh page ready for all Nick Sirianni's notes and all the training camp notes from today's practice. We'll dive into all that tomorrow, of course. Coke makes me nauseated. The caramel they use, I can only drink Pepsi. Interesting. I love a good Coca-Cola, especially fountain Coca-Cola. Fountain Coca-Cola is greater than all. I'm so excited. Completely and totally excited for what today is going to bring. We're back to regular football. We're back to football practice every day and new things to talk about and overreact to. Will the Phillies win and complete the sweep of the Boston Red Sox tonight? Jesus Luzardo going. He keeps being hit or miss, Jesus Luzardo. Will he be on the good Luzardo or the bad Luzardo tonight? That is the question. That'll be on the agenda tomorrow. Which game of the Eagles' schedule can you see being a trap game for the Eagles? I have to go back and look at the schedule. I think game one could be a trap game. All the pomp and circumstance, opening night, Thursday night, raising the banner, all the celebrations that they're going to go on. That could be the trap game. The Eagles can easily open the season 0-1. And God, and the Cowboys fans are going to be nauseating if that happens. But it could. What is Chet's carbonate? Who knows? If you watch The Breakfast Club, you will see them drinking New Coke and Pepsi Free. Yeah. I didn't notice that. I have to get I always try to I get my boys, Kratz, Chris Franklin, and Martin Frank on throughout training camp. Absolutely. I will work on it. They got off days on Friday and Sunday this week. So I got to see what next week's schedule is. And I'll try to reach out to those guys for days off, the days that they don't have to report to camp. I would think one of the left-handed starters gets traded to make this team better. What, Ranger Suarez, Christopher Sanchez, or Jesus Luzardo? I know you don't mean Christopher Sanchez, though. I could see Luzardo getting traded. That's an interesting one. Young guy under team control for another year, I believe. I would absolutely consider trading Ranger Suarez, even though it sounds crazy and insane. But you got a plethora of starting pitching when Aaron Nola comes back, and he's going to be reporting next week to the minors to begin his rehab. So, yeah. I always get Shane. All I got to do is text Shane. You want analytics? You don't want the fun sarcasm? You want more of Shane's analytics? I think Shane is probably, I'm ballparking this, the most frequent guest on this show in the history of this show. Chet strikes me as a Diet Pepsi man. We're just continuing to name drop Chet. Chet ain't even listening anymore, and Chet's getting name dropped. Gotta love when a listener is more popular than the show itself. Breaks my heart, K1. Breaks my heart. Break my heart. But yeah, I'll get Shane on. Absolutely. I know he's on vacation next week. But don't worry, Anthony. Even though Shane's on vacation next week, the Eagles Pinball Podcast Network, I will still do my check down every day, and I will still make sure all the other shows get put up for Shane on the Eagles Pinball Podcast Network, okay? Just so you know. You're still here? You've made it through the entire show? Damn. Flattered at the same time embarrassed. You should be embarrassed. Not diet sodas for me. Yeah, no, I don't really do the diet sodas. I guess Pepsi Zero is sort of a diet soda. But yeah. Anyway, that's what we got. I want to wrap this show up a few minutes early because I want to get to listen into the Nick Sirianni press conference here in a few minutes, which is very important to do. From what I was hearing, Phillies are not doing a big move at the deadline. One day you hear this, Adam. The next day you hear they're still talking about Mason Miller. I just can't figure out what they're going to do. Okay. And if they don't make a big move, Dave Dombrowski should be embarrassed. What about my podcast? This is a network right here. This is a network right here, Anthony. That's a disappointment that I'm not ahead of his. Damn. I know it's just me on this channel and Chet and Bill Furman. But come on. I've never even really, I know who Philly Mike is. And we might follow each other on Twitter. I don't even know. I've watched a few minutes. I've never really had much major interaction. So it's hard for me, Nooms. I don't like to request people's time when I haven't had a connection with them before. Like, then you feel like you're just kind of, like, if I was watching his show all the time or reading his articles and commenting, those are the people I go for. And there's nothing against Philly Mike. There's no reason why I haven't had an interaction. There's only so many people I can interact with on a given day. I have zero confidence in Dave Dombrowski as well, Adam. Absolutely. Anthony says, Dave yesterday made it sound like they were happy with the team they have. I mean, Max Kepler hit a home run yesterday. So we're good in left field, right? And John Middleton made some comments last weekend about how you can't trade prospects. What we've got is pretty good. because you can move starters to the bullpen come playoff time. That was not very confidence building for the trade deadline as well. If the Phillies lose in the playoffs because they make no more additions to the bullpen or they don't fix left field and they lose in the NLDS or the NLCS because of the bullpen blowing a game and Dave Dombrowski does not get fired, I will be on a rampage in the offseason on the Phillies if that's the case. A complete and utter rampage. Remember the doing the video every day till Daryl Morey gets fired? I'll be doing the same on Dave Dombrowski come the offseason if that is the results. Guarantee it. So anyway, poll today was, is Christopher Sanchez the best value in Philadelphia sports? Absolutely got 52%. Yes, got 20%. Of course, got 0%. But 28% of you said, let's talk more Eagles. And that's what we will do tomorrow on this show. Talk more Eagles, recapping today's first full day at training camp. All the news, all the opinions, everything. It would suck, but it would be great content. Exactly. Bad stuff is always great content, right, K1? So we're going to wrap it up, guys. Make sure if you haven't already, like, share, subscribe. Todd coming in at the last second. I'm about to hit the show's ending, but Todd's here. So good morning, Todd. Hope you have a great day today. Sorry we missed you today. But anyway, guys, we're wrapping it up. Everybody have a great Wednesday. Always, the grind never stops. And I leave here and I'm going right into work. All right? Go make the pizza. Everybody have a great day. Go Birds. Bubbles up.